Happy Sunday, everyone. It's Josh coming to y'all on the other side of this screen with the Tarot Snapshot for Sunday, February 4th. Now, I'm doing this Sunday evening. It's a little bit after 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time, and if you hear any ambient noise, I'm not sure if my phone's going to pick it up, but on the other side of my studio, on the other side of the space, we're having right now what's called Tarot Club. So every Sunday at Deep Earth Arts here in Littleton, New Hampshire, we have Tarot Club, which is a buy donation event. We set up a bunch of tables, put up tablecloths, and people come in with their tarot cards, their runes, their oracle cards. This is for people of all levels. This is a safe space where people can come in, learn the art of divination with other people who are doing the same in a safe and comfortable place. We do have people that are literally reading from the books. I'm pulling this card, here's what it means. We have people who are very intuitive in using this experience as a way to develop their own connection to spirit, their own practice with doing this. So if you're local, every Sunday at 5:30, Tarot Club. By donation, lasts for about an hour, hour and a half. Come in and sharing some time with folks. Now, Tarot Snapshot, I'm shuffling. The Tarot Snapshot is a small reading that shows us who we are in this moment. The first card shows us what vexes and perplexes us, and then shows us what heals and reveals. So just a quick look at who we are, what our major challenges are, and the guidance that we need in this moment in time. I also really appreciate doing this for everybody because I learn so much by doing this, but I get this wisdom too because I am us. I am part of you. I'm setting this intention for anybody that comes across this to appreciate this wisdom. I'm getting as much insight from this experience as I hope anybody else watching this. So with that being said, this card right here represents us in this moment. The Knight of Swords. Okay. So the swords in tarot correspond to our mind. Why? Because if you don't know how to use a sword well, there's a really good chance you're going to hurt yourself or other people. There's a lot more to it than that, but I like that application of the sword analogy for our mind. Something that I am not ashamed of talking about because there's no shame here. I am seeing my therapist tomorrow, and I look at therapy that is certainly not for everybody, but I look at my therapist as my mental personal trainer. Going to therapy is like going to the gym for our body. We have a physical self, we have a mental self. The physical self needs help. We need to exercise it. We need to take care of it. The therapist, boy, I'll tell you what, I love mine, who she is and what she's done for me because she has given me the ability to see things from a different perspective. And therapy is not necessarily just for what they're saying to us. Oftentimes I find that having a place where I can speak my stuff, make sense of it, helps me immensely. And she's got no judgment. She's going to help me with tools and ideas and perspectives that really make me the best version of myself. Now, whether therapy is a thing for you or not, and again, I'm giving a little bit of a different perspective around the Knight of Swords than most people are going to have. The knights are people who are dedicated. They are people that are people of routine. They're doing things steadily every single day. With that being said, whether you see a therapist or not, it's really important to make sure that you understand your mind is the part of you that learned the ABCs, that learned the English language or whatever your native language is. Your mind is the thing that can learn a different language or a different alphabet. Your mind is the part of you that has been taught not to like itself or not to like you. So we have to be careful of how much we're wielding our mind and how much we bring our mind to bear because our mind, again, is not who we are. That's our consciousness. We are perceiving reality with our mind. But our mind is a tool in the same way that a sword is a tool. The same way that our car is a tool. If we don't know how to drive a car with skill, we're going to hurt ourselves or other people. Learning how to use our mind with skill, I'll tell you, it's so beneficial to this human existence. For instance, I want to talk to you about anxiety. A lot of people use anxiety with the big A, like I have anxiety. And there are some people in this world with anxiety. They have diagnosable anxiety. There are people in this world who don't have diagnosable anxiety, but their mind isn't trained to weather the ups and downs of life. This is like the question that I have for folks. Are you overwhelmed right now, or are you not prioritizing your peace? It's about what we focus on, and using our mind in a steady way, in a dedicated way, can make all the difference in our life. Boy, big definition there. Let's take a look at the card that vexes and perplexes us. Temperance, balance. This makes all sorts of sense because our mind, again, who we are, we have to maintain balance in our mind. Our mind can grab a hold of a thread and just chase it. Think of the over worrying or the anxiety. There's something that we have to, especially people who care for other people in this world, we have to pay attention to hypervigilance. Hypervigilance is that part of us that will always be clocking the negative things. What if that goes wrong? What if that goes wrong? What if that goes wrong? I was able to tell a person today to not fear something they couldn't see. Don't fear that which you can't see. If you can see it, then be afraid of it. But you can't be afraid of the shadows, or you can't be afraid of something happening and then hoping that by being afraid of it or constantly holding the weight of it prevents it from happening. So there's a balance here that I think vexes and perplexes us all. We have to be aware of the negative things that could happen to us or our loved ones, but we can't be consumed or controlled by them. And that's the balance. Oftentimes we can be so concerned with the negative, what could happen, oh my gosh, the what ifs, the could haves, the should haves, the would have, that we're not being healthy, that we're not being balanced. So balance is something certainly that a lot of us can suffer from not having. All right. The card that heals and reveals for us is this. All right. So this is a peculiar message. Let me take a moment to peel this apart a little bit. So this is the Two of Wands. Now I understand it. The Two of Wands, you see this person holding out this world and they're planning. They're planning. So I'm going to ask you right now, if you ever suffer from anxiety, worry, fear, any of those things, the question that I have for you is, what kind of world do you want to live in? This person right here is creating their world. And not to be hokey, not to be too new agey, we do create our world with how we think. We do. I could spend my days worrying about X, Y, and Z. I could spend my days being concerned and planning appropriately for X, Y, and Z. But we have a lot of choice in terms of how we experience this world, how we feel in this world, and how we make our way through this world. So my question to you is, what kind of world do you want to live in? What kind of existence, reality do you want to be a part of? Do you want to be constantly stressed and full of anxiety and worry? Or do you want to be a person who is aware but not controlled by? I think this is really important for everybody to consider, because every morning that you wake up, you can't control what happens to you, but you can control how you react to it. You can. And I think maintaining our perspective, and this isn't like, oh, have positive thoughts, think positive thoughts. That's not what this is. This is remembering that the perspective is key. So that trauma that I experienced as a child, through my teens, into my adult years, any trauma that I would have picked up along the way, I get to choose how I feel about it. I get to decide what it gave to me versus what it took from me, because that's me controlling the world that I want to live in. I hope that you take a page out of my book, and I hope that you actively seek to live in this world in a healthy way. I hope that you make the conscious effort and the decision to see life in a certain light and live the life that is your birthright. Take care of yourself, and remember, every day you have the option, you have the choice to see the world the way that you want to. Be well. Thank you for being here. Much love.